Today we're going to make these 3 kittens. Welcome everyone to join in the making journey. The methods for making these 3 kittens are exactly the same. The calico kitten and the ginger kitten just have different color change placements. The solid color kit doesn't require changing yarn, it's made in solid color. Take out the practice yarn on the corresponding size crochet hook from the materials kit. You can watch the basic video to practice the basic stitches. Everyone should learn the basic stitches before proceeding to crochet. The practice yarn can be reused multiple times. First, I'll teach you how to make this ginger kitten. The ginger kitten is made using yellow and white yarns. Everyone can follow the video of the ginger kitten. To complete the creation of the solid color kitten, the methods for making the solid color kitten are exactly the same as for the ginger kitten. The ginger kitten requires a color change from round 7 to 19 to create the pattern parts. For the solid color kitten, use off-white yarn directly. The video uses the ginger kitten as a demonstration. The main body is made by starting with a magic ring and then spiral crochet. Take out the yellow yarn ball from the materials bag. Find the yarn end. Unravel the yarn ball. Place the yarn ball in a position where it can move freely. Now let's make a magic ring. One hand holds the yarn tail, the other hand's palm facing up. Wrap the yarn around your pinky finger once. Pass it through the palm, between your middle finger and index finger. Hang it on your index finger. Pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. The yarn tail is too short here. You can pull the yarn tail to make it longer. If the yarn tail is too long, you can pull the yarn wrapped around your pinky finger to shorten it. Here we need to pull the yarn tail longer to facilitate the next steps. Wrap the yarn around your middle finger once. Press down with your thumb on the point where the yarn crosses. Take out the crochet hook from the materials kit. You can hold the crochet hook like a pencil. This is called the pencil grip. You can also hold the crochet hook like a knife. This is called the knife grip. The video will demonstrate using the knife grip. Everyone can freely choose how to hold the hook. The methods for wrapping yarn with the knife grip and pencil grip are the same. Now the hook is facing towards yourself. The crochet hook goes through the loop on the middle finger. In front of the segment of yarn hanging on the index finger. The segment of yarn hanging on the index finger is the connecting yarn from the yarn ball. It's called the working yarn. The crochet hook is placed in front of the working yarn. The hook head is facing towards us. Rotate the crochet hook. Hook head facing the working yarn. Pull the crochet hook. Hook the working yarn. Pull the crochet hook through the loop on the middle finger. Pull the working yarn through the loop on the middle finger. Rotate the crochet hook. Now a new loop is formed on the crochet hook. Push the loop on the crochet hook to the back of the hook. This can prevent the loop from falling off. The loop on the middle finger is the magic ring. Next, we need to make a chain stitch to secure the magic ring. Now the crochet hook is placed in front of the working yarn. The hook head is facing towards us. Lift the working yarn up and wrap it around the hook. Hook head facing the working yarn. Pull the crochet hook. Hook the working yarn. Pull the crochet hook. Pull through the loop on the crochet hook. Now a new loop is formed on the crochet hook. Push the loop on the crochet hook to the back of the hook. A chain stitch is completed. This chain stitch serves as the starting stitch for the single crochet. It serves to raise the height. It does not count towards the total stitch number. Remove the magic ring from your middle finger. Pull the yarn tail. The magic ring will get smaller. Pull the magic ring. The magic ring will get larger. This is the magic ring. At the same time, a chain stitch is completed. Now you can start crocheting. For the first round, you need to make a chain stitch first. Here, while making the magic ring, this chain stitch has been completed. Next, you need to make 8 single crochet in the magic ring. You can use your index finger to hold down the loop on the crochet hook. This prevents the loop from falling off and deforming. It's convenient for the next steps. Your middle finger and thumb need to pinch these 2 strands below the magic ring. Now let's make the first single crochet. Insert the crochet hook through the magic ring. Note that the crochet hook has gone through the 2 strands of the magic ring. Wrap the yarn around to the back of the working yarn. Press down on the working yarn with the crochet hook. Hook the working yarn. Pull the crochet hook. Hold the yarn through the magic ring with the crochet hook. This creates 2 loops on the crochet hook. Push the 2 loops on the crochet hook to the back of the hook. This ensures that the size of the 2 loops on the crochet hook is consistent. If the loop on the crochet hook is too large, you can use the tension of your index finger to make it smaller if the loop on the crochet hook is too small. You can lift the crochet hook up to make it larger. Ensure that the loops on the crochet hook can move freely on the hook. You can also push the loop to the back of the crochet hook to make it larger. Now the crochet hook is placed in front of the working yarn, with the hook head facing yourself. Lift the working yarn with the crochet hook. Wrap the yarn around the hook once. Pull the crochet hook. Hook the working yarn. Pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. A new loop is formed on the crochet hook. Here we complete a single crochet. From the top, it forms a V shape. Everyone can count the versus halves at the top to confirm the number of stitches crocheted. Take out the stitch marker. The stitch marker goes through the gap below the V shape. The stitch marker needs to go through the 2 strands of the V shape. Attach the stitch marker. The first stitch of each round needs to have the stitch marker attached, so that we can easily and quickly find the position of the first stitch. Now the first stitch is completed. The second single crochet. Insert the crochet hook through the magic ring. The hook should go through the 2 strands of the magic ring. Wrap the yarn around to the back of the working yarn. Press down on the working yarn with the crochet hook. Hook the working yarn. Pull the crochet hook, bringing the yarn through the magic ring. Now there are 2 loops on the crochet hook. Push the loop on the crochet hook to the back of the hook. The crochet hook is placed in front of the working yarn. Yarn over the working yarn. Wrap the yarn around the hook once. We can only yarn over once on the crochet hook. To smoothly pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook, if you accidentally yarn over twice or more on the crochet hook, it will cause the crochet hook to not pull the yarn smoothly through the loops on the crochet hook. Here is an error demonstration. Now there is 1 yarn over on the crochet hook. Next, yarn over again on the crochet hook. This way there are 2 yarn overs on the crochet hook. Pull the crochet hook. The crochet hook cannot smoothly pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. Everyone must pay attention to only yarn over once on the crochet hook. Release the loop from the crochet hook. Let's do a proper demonstration. Lift the working yarn with the crochet hook. Wrap the yarn around the hook once. Pull the crochet hook. Pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. A new loop is formed on the crochet hook. Push the loop to the back of the crochet hook. A second single crochet is completed. There are 2 V shapes at the top. Third single crochet. A crochet hook needs to go through both strands of the magic ring. Wrap the yarn around to the back of the working yarn. Press down on the working yarn. A crochet hook catches the working yarn. Bring the yarn through the magic ring. Now there are 2 loops on the crochet hook. Push the loop to the back of the crochet hook. Ensure the 2 loops on the crochet hook are the same size, and that the tension of the loops is consistent. The crochet hook is placed in front of the working yarn. Yarn over the working yarn. Wrap the yarn around the hook once. Pull the crochet hook. Pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. A new loop is formed on the crochet hook. Push the loop to the back of the crochet hook. From the top, 3 V shapes are formed. Fourth single crochet. Fourth single crochet is completed. Fifth single crochet. Sixth single crochet. Seventh single crochet. Eighth single crochet. Eight single crochet are completed. The top forms 8 V shapes. Now let's count the stitches. The stitch marker is the first one. The second one. A third one. the fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one, the seventh one, the eighth one. There are 8 V-shapes here. The first round is completed with 8 single crochet. The 8 V-shapes here are of consistent size. This indicates that the tension of the crochet work is uniform. If the V-shapes appear too large or too small, it means the single crochet are too loose or too tight. Then you can unravel and redo the crochet work. Next, find the yarn tail. Pull the yarn tail to tighten the magic ring until the gap in the middle completely disappears. The first round is completed. We start with the magic ring. In the first round, crochet a chain stitch first. A chain stitch serves to raise the height. It is not counted as a stitch. Then crochet 6 single crochet. After completing the first round, there are a total of 6 stitches. In the second round, crochet 6 increased stitches. An increased stitch is crocheting to single crochet in 1 stitch of the previous round. After completing the second round, there are a total of 12 stitches. In the third round, crochet the stitches in the parenthesis. A single crochet followed by an increased stitch. The stitches in the parenthesis represents a sequence. We repeat this sequence 6 times. A single crochet and an increased stitch as a sequence makes a total of 3 stitches. Repeat the sequence 6 times, so after completing the third round, there are a total of 18 stitches. Next, let's take a look at the stitch abbreviations. CH refers to chain stitch. The chain stitch at the beginning of a round serves to raise the height. It is not counted in the stitch count. SC refers to single crochet. In the first round you need to make 6 single crochet. INC refers to increased stitch. An increased stitch involves crocheting to single crochet in the same stitch. In the second round, you need to make 6 increased stitches, so after completing the second round, there are a total of 12 stitches. Increased stitches are usually used when the fabric needs to be expanded. We consider the stitches in the parenthesis as a sequence. The number after the multiplication sign indicates how many times you need to repeat this sequence. In the third round, we need to crochet 1 single crochet and 1 increased stitch as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 6 times. After completing the third round, there will be a total of 18 stitches. The number after the equal sign will tell you how many stitches there are after completing this round. Next, we will make the second round. The second round requires 8 increases. An increase is made by creating 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Let's take a look at the entry points for the second round. The V shape with a stitch marker is the entry point for the first stitch. The second V shape is the entry point for the second stitch. You need to enter the hook from the gap below the V shape. Pass through the entire V shape. The third entry point is the third V shape. The entry point for the fourth stitch. The entry points for the second round are below the V shapes at the top of the first round. The fifth one. The sixth one. The seventh one. The eighth one. The V shapes formed by the previous round are the hook insertion points for the next round. Take out the crochet hook. Insert the crochet hook back into the yarn loop. Pull the working yarn. Tighten the yarn loop. Tighten the yarn loop to a degree that can move freely on the crochet hook. We can use the thickness behind the crochet hook as a standard for the size of the yarn loop. Pull the working yarn tight. Adjust the tightness of the yarn loop appropriately. Wrap the yarn on your hand. Wrap the yarn around your pinky finger once. Through the space between the middle finger and index finger, hang it on your index finger. Pinch the fabric with your thumb and middle finger. Now let's make the first single crochet increase. Remove the stitch marker. Insert the crochet hook into the first stitch position of the stitch marker. Insert the crochet hook into the gap below the V-shape. Pass through the entire V-shape. Wrap the yarn around to the back of the working yarn. Press down on the working yarn. Hook the working yarn. Yarn over and pull through the first hook insertion position. This creates 2 loops on the crochet hook. Push the loop on the crochet hook to the back of the hook. Now the crochet hook is placed in front of the working yarn. Lift the working yarn with the crochet hook. Wrap the yarn around the hook once. Pull the crochet hook. Pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. Now a new loop is formed on the crochet hook. Here, a single crochet is completed. Place the stitch marker on the first stitch. At the insertion point of the first single crochet, make the second single crochet. To single crochet are made in the same stitch. The top forms to be shapes. This is a single crochet increase. After completing 8 single crochet increases in the second round, the top will form 16 V-shapes. Second single crochet increase. Insert hook at the second insertion point. First, make a single crochet. Then make another single crochet in the same insertion point. The second single crochet increase is completed here. Third single crochet increase. The third single crochet increase is completed. Fourth single crochet increase. Fifth single crochet increase. The stitches formed by the single crochet increases are wider and easier to cover the insertion point for the next stitch. Everyone can press the increase to one side. Reveal the complete insertion point for the next stitch. 6 single crochet increase. The 7th increase. The 8th increase. Now 8 single crochet increases are completed. Count the top V shapes, there are 16. Now let's count the V shapes to see if it's correct. The stitch with the stitch marker is the first V shape. The second one. The third one. The fourth one. The fifth one. The sixth one. The seventh one. The eighth one. The ninth. The 10th. The 11th. The 12th. The 13th. The 14th. The 15th. The 16th. Stitch count is correct. Here are 16 V shapes formed. These are the insertion points for the third round. Now let's make the third round. Insert the crochet hook back into the yarn loop. Tighten the loop to a degree that allows it to move freely on the hook. The working yarn hanging on the index finger is still loose. You can pull the yarn connecting to the yarn ball from the little finger. Tighten it. In the third round, you need to make a single crochet and 1 single crochet increase as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 8 times. 8 sequences will form 24 stitches. The first sequence. First, make a single crochet. Remove the stitch marker. Make a single crochet in the first insertion point. Place the stitch marker on the first stitch. Make a single crochet increase in the second insertion point. One single crochet and 1 single crochet increase are completed. There are 3 V shapes at the top. The next 7 sequences of crochet methods are the same as the first sequence. The second sequence, work 1 single crochet first. Then 1 increase stitch. The second sequence is completed. The third sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. The fourth sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. The fifth sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. The sixth sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. The 7th sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. The 8th sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. Eight sequences are completed. Count the 24 V-shapes at the top. Everyone needs to count the V-shapes at the top after completing each round. We need to confirm whether the stitch count is correct. The 3rd round is completed. Now let's make the 4th round. The 4th round consists of 24 single crochet without increases or decreases. No increases or decreases means working 1 single crochet into each stitch of previous round one by one. There are no changes in increases or decreases. The top of the 3rd round has formed 24 V-shapes. The next 24 single crochet are made on these 24 V-shapes. Remove the stitch marker. The 1st single crochet. Place the stitch marker on the 1st stitch. The 2nd single crochet. 3rd single crochet. 4th single crochet. 5th single crochet. 6 single crochet. 7th single crochet. 8th single crochet. The 9th single crochet. The 10th single crochet. The 11th single crochet. A 12th single crochet. The 13th single crochet. The 14th single crochet. The 15th single crochet. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. Here, 24 single crochet are completed. The 4th round is completed. There are 24 V-shapes at the top. Everyone can count the V-shapes at the top to confirm whether the stitch count is correct. Here we are using channel yarn. The clarity of the stitches may be relatively poor, so during the crocheting process, you need to repeatedly check if the stitch count is correct. Now let's distinguish the front and back of the fabric. Now, this side facing us is the front of the fabric. The front has the patterns of raised circles. Flip to the back of the fabric. Here is the yarn tail used to create the magic ring. And there are horizontal lines formed loops like this. This is the back of the fabric. During the making process, the front of the fabric needs to always face us. Now, let's make the fifth round. The fifth round requires 5 single crochet and 1 single crochet increase as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 4 times. After completing 4 sequences, you will have 28 stitches. Insert the crochet hook back into the yarn loop. Tighten the yarn loop with the tension of your index finger. The first sequence starts with 5 single crochet. The first single crochet. Place the stitch marker on the first stitch. The second single crochet. Third single crochet. Fourth single crochet. Fifth single crochet. 5 single crochet are completed. 1 increase stitch. Five single crochet and 1 increase stitch is one sequence. The first sequence is completed. Complete the remaining 3 sequences in the same way. The second sequence, 5 single crochet. One increase stitch. The third sequence, 5 single crochet. One increase stitch. The fourth sequence, 5 single crochet. The crochet hook accidentally slipped. Reinsert the crochet hook back into the yarn loop. Discontinue crocheting. One increase stitch. Four sequences are completed. There are 28 stitches. The fifth round is completed. The sixth round has 28 single crochet without increases or decreases. The methods for making single crochet are the same, so I will speed up the demonstration. The sixth round has a total of 28 V-shapes at the top. Let's learn how to count the rounds. Now the side facing us is the front of the fabric. There are these raised circles. A complete circle here is 1 round. This is the first round, second round, third round, fifth round, fifth round, sixth round. Here we have completed 6 rounds, so our number of rounds is correct. We can confirm whether the number of rounds is correct during the making process. This makes it convenient to confirm the number of completed rounds. The crocheting methods for the first 6 rounds of the ginger kitten and the solid color kitten are exactly the same. Both use solid color yarn, no yarn changing is involved. Complete the first 6 rounds of the solid color kitten in the same way as the first 6 rounds of the ginger kitten. The ginger kitten requires color changing during process. A solid color kitten does not require color change. The solid color kitten can follow the method of the ginger kitten, continue to complete without changing yarn. A video will indicate stitches at each round for the ginger kitten in the upper left corner. Please complete the solid color kitten in the same way as making the ginger kitten. You don't need to change yarn during the whole process. Next, we need to make the 7th round. Starting from the 7th round, the ginger kitten needs to change yarn during the process. First, let's look at the yarn change position. Now, we have completed the first 6 rounds with solid color yarn. From the 7th round to the 19th round. We need to use white yarn to make the pattern part. Place the crochet hook back into the yarn loop. Tighten the yarn loop. Wrap the yarn around your hand. 7th round. You need to make 13 single crochet with yellow yarn first. At the 13th stitch, you need to change yarn. So here, first complete 12 single crochet. Remove the stitch marker. Here, 12 single crochet are completed. The 13th stitch requires making an unfinished single crochet first. The crochet hook goes through the stitch. Yarn over and pull through. 2 loops are formed on the crochet hook. This is an unfinished single crochet. Next, take out the yarn you need to change to. Take out the white yarn from the material kit. Hang the yarn properly on your hand. Pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Take out the fabric. Place the fabric on top of the white yarn. Now the working yarn is the white yarn. Place the crochet hook in front of the working yarn. Lift the working yarn up and wrap it around once. Yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. Now a new white loop is formed on the crochet hook. This is how to complete the yarn change. Next, pull the yellow yarn. Tighten the yarn. This completes the 13th single crochet. Next, make a single crochet with the white yarn. You only need to make an unfinished single crochet first. This is one unfinished single crochet. Then switch back to the yellow yarn to continue. Yellow yarn over the hook. Pull the yarn through the loops on the crochet hook. Now the loop on the crochet hook is yellow. Here, a single crochet was made with the white yarn. Tighten the white yarn. Next, make 14 single crochet with the yellow yarn. The crochet hook goes through the next stitch. Place the 2 white yarns above the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through. This way, the white yarn tail is hidden inside the yellow single crochet stitches. Tighten the white yarn. This is to secure the white yarn. Hiding 1 stitch is enough. Next, continue to make single crochet. The 7th round is completed. There are 28 V-shapes. Let's look at the V-shapes at the top. From the stitch marker to the white V-shape. There are 13 yellow V-shapes. Here is a white V-shape. From the white V-shape, count to the last V-shape with a yarn loop. There are 14 V-shapes. The number of V-shapes is correct. The change yarn position is correct. The 7th round is now completed. Start making the 8th round. Insert the crochet hook into the yarn loop. Tighten the yarn loop. Hold the yellow yarn in your hand. First, make 6 single crochet. Six single crochet are completed. 1 increased stitch. Then make 5 more single crochet. We need to change yarn at the 5th stitch. Here, for single crochet are completed. On the 5th stitch, change yarn. Here, crochet an unfinished single crochet. Hold the white yarn in your hand. Be careful when pulling the yarn over here. Do not pull too tight. Change to white yarn for crocheting. Yarn change is completed. Next, use the white yarn. Crochet 1 single crochet. 1 increased stitch. Another single crochet. First, make an unfinished single crochet. Then switch back to yellow yarn. Tighten the white yarn. Make 5 single crochet with yellow yarn. The white yarn can be secured above the crochet hook. Five single crochet are completed. 1 increased stitch. Another 6 single crochet. One increased stitch. The 8th round is completed. There are 32 top V shapes. Everyone can count the top V shapes to confirm if the stitch count is correct. The 9th round. Make 12 single crochet with yellow yarn first. Change yarn at the 12th stitch. 11 single crochet are completed. Change yarn on the 12th single crochet. Unfinished single crochet is completed. Change to white yarn. Be careful not to pull the yarn on the back too tight. Yarn change is completed. Here, the yellow yarn has completed 12 stitches. Next, use the white yarn to make 6 single crochet. Change yarn on the 6th stitch. The 6th single crochet, make an unfinished single crochet first. Change the yellow yarn. Yarn change is completed. Make 14 single crochet with yellow yarn. Fourteen single crochet are completed. The 9th round is completed. There are 32 top V shapes. Round 10. First, make 7 single crochet with yellow yarn. Seven single crochet are completed. 1 increase. Then 3 single crochet. Change yarn on the 3rd single crochet. Make an unfinished single crochet on the 3rd stitch. Change to white yarn. Pay attention to the white yarn. Leave a certain length in the middle. Yarn change is completed. Make for single crochet with the white yarn. One increase stitch. Then 3 single crochet. Change yarn on the 3rd single crochet. Here, change to yellow yarn for an unfinished single crochet. Make sure to leave a certain length of yarn here. Do not pull too tight. Changing yarn here is completed. Tighten the white yarn. Next, make for single crochet with the yellow yarn. One increase stitch. Then 7 single crochet. 1 increase. The 10th round is completed. Count 36 at the top V shapes. Round 11. First, make 11 single crochet with the yellow yarn. You need to change yarn on the 11th stitch. The 11th stitch, first make an unfinished single crochet. Change to the white yarn. The yarn here needs to be pulled a little longer. Tighten the yellow yarn. Changing yarn here is completed. Next, make 11 single crochet with the white yarn. You need to change yarn on the 11th stitch. The 11th stitch, first make an unfinished single crochet. Let go of the white yarn, change to yellow yarn. Make 14 single crochet with the yellow yarn. Tighten the white yarn. Round 11 is completed. There are 36 V shapes at the top. Here, we are changing colors while crocheting. Be careful not to let the yarn bow get tangled together. Round 12. First, make 7 single crochet with yellow yarn. Seven single crochet are completed. Next, you need to crochet a decrease. Now let's learn how to make a decrease. A decrease is combining two stitches into one. The sewing needle goes through an entire V-shaped stitch. The loop closest to us is the front loop. The loop furthest from us is the back loop. Decrease needs to be made through the front loops of 2 adjacent stitches. Combine these 2 stitches into one. The crochet hook goes through one front loop. Then go through the front loop of the adjacent stitch. There are 3 loops on the crochet hook now. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on hook. Now there are 2 loops on the crochet hook. Yarn over the hook again and pull through the remaining 2 loops on hook. This completes one decrease stitch. Decrease means combining 2 stitches into one. Next, 3 single crochet. You need to change yarn on the 3rd stitch. One unfinished single crochet. Change to white yarn. Make sure to leave the yarn a bit long. Yarn change is completed. Tighten the yellow yarn. Make for single crochet with the white yarn. One decrease. Insert the crochet hook through the front loop of the next stitch, then insert through the adjacent stitch's front loop. Yarn over the hook and pull through the first 2 loops on hook. Yarn over the hook again and through the remaining 2 loops on hook. One decrease is completed. Next, for single crochet, you need to change yarn on the 4th stitch. Unfinished single crochet. Change to yellow yarn. Also note the length of the yellow yarn on the back. Tighten the white yarn. Make 3 single crochet with yellow yarn. One decrease. Seven single crochet. One decrease. Round 12 is completed. Count their T-toe at the top of the V shapes. Next, round 13. First, use the yellow yarn to make a single crochet and 1 decrease stitch as one sequence. Repeat this sequence 3 times. The first sequence. To single crochet. One decrease. The first sequence is completed. Complete the remaining sequences in the same way. The second sequence to single crochet. 1 decrease. The third sequence to single crochet. 1 decrease stitch. Here, you need to change yarn on the decrease stitch. First, make an unfinished decrease. Insert the crochet hook through the front loop of the next two adjacent stitches. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on hook. 2 loops are formed on the crochet hook. This is an unfinished decrease. Change to white yarn to complete the decrease. Pay attention to the length of the yarn on the back. Tighten the yellow yarn. Make to single crochet and 1 decrease as a sequence with white yarn. Repeat this sequence twice. The first sequence to single crochet. One decrease. The second sequence to single crochet. One decrease. We need to change yarn on the decrease. Here, complete an unfinished decrease. Change to yellow yarn. Pay attention to the length of the yarn on the back. Tighten the white yarn. Use yellow yarn to make to single crochet and 1 decrease as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 3 times. The first sequence to single crochet. One decrease. Second sequence to single crochet. 1 decrease stitch. The third sequence to single crochet. 1 decrease stitch. "24 V-shapes at the top. Round 13 is completed. Round 14. First, make 1 single crochet and 1 decrease stitch as a sequence with yellow yarn. Repeat this sequence 3 times. For the first sequence, start with 1 single crochet. One decrease. The first sequence is completed. The second sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 decrease stitch. For the third sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 decrease stitch. Change yarn on the decrease stitch. Complete an unfinished decrease stitch. Change to white yarn. Yarn change is completed. Tighten the yellow yarn. Make 1 single crochet and 1 decrease stitch as a sequence with white yarn. Repeat this sequence twice. First sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 decrease stitch. Second sequence, 1 single crochet. Change yarn on the decrease stitch. 1 decrease stitch. Here, complete an unfinished decrease. Change to yellow yarn. Pay attention to the length of the yarn on the back. Tighten the white yarn. Make 1 single crochet and 1 decrease stitch with yellow yarn as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 3 times. First sequence, 1 single crochet. The yellow V shape here is relatively large. You can pull the back yellow yarn tight. 1 decrease stitch. Second sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 decrease stitch. The third sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 decrease. Round 14 is completed. Count the 16 top V shapes. Everyone can compare the color change sections. Check if the pattern shape is correct. Next, you need to stuff some filling cotton. Pull the crochet hook upwards. Make the yarn loop larger. Remove the crochet hook. Take out the stuffing cotton from the material kit. Find the gap position. Tear open the package. Take out some stuffing cotton. Fluff the stuffing cotton. Add a small amount multiple times to the inside of the fabric. After the stuffing is completed, you can pinch it to check the tightness. Be careful not to tangle the two colors of yarn together to prevent knotting. Insert the crochet hook into the yarn loop. Tighten the yarn loop. Put the yarn on your hand properly. Round 15. Make 1 single crochet and 1 increase as a sequence with yellow yarn. Repeat this sequence 3 times. First sequence, 1 single crochet. You can use your index finger to press down the stuffing. 1 increase stitch. The first sequence is completed. The second sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. The third sequence. 1 single crochet. You need to change yarn on the next increase stitch. First, make a single crochet. Then in the same stitch, make an unfinished single crochet. Let go of the yellow yarn. Change to white yarn. Pay attention to the length of yarn on the back. Tighten the yellow yarn. Yarn change is completed. Use the white yarn to make 1 single crochet and 1 increase as a sequence. Repeat twice. First sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. The second sequence, 1 single crochet. You need to change yarn on the next increase stitch. In the same stitch, make an unfinished single crochet. Change to yellow yarn. Tighten the white yarn. Using yellow yarn, make 1 single crochet and 1 increase stitch as a sequence. Repeat 3 times. First sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. The second sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. For the third sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. Round 15 is completed. Count the 24 V-shapes at the top. Round 16. You need to use yellow yarn. First make 9 single crochet. Change yarn on the 9th stitch. The 9th single crochet. First make an unfinished single crochet. Change to white yarn. Pay attention to the length of the yarn on the back. Tighten the yellow yarn. Using white yarn, make 5 single crochet. Change yarn on the 5th stitch. Change yarn on the 5th stitch. Tighten the white yarn. Everyone must pay attention to the length of yarn on the back. Using yellow yarn, make 10 single crochet. Round 16 is completed. Count the top V shapes, there are 24. In round 17, make 10 single crochet with yellow yarn first. Change yarn on the 10th stitch. An unfinished single crochet for the 10th stitch. Change to white yarn. Tighten the yellow yarn. Make for single crochet with white yarn. Change yarn on the 4th stitch. Change yarn on the 4th stitch. Change to yellow yarn. Tighten the white yarn. Using yellow yarn, make 10 single crochet. Round 17 is completed. Count the 24 V-shapes at the top. Round 18. Make 5 single crochet with yellow yarn first. One increase stitch. Then 5 single crochet. Change yarn on the 5th stitch. One unfinished single crochet. Change to white yarn. Tighten the yellow yarn. Make 1 increase with white yarn. One single crochet. Here, you only need to make 1 unfinished single crochet. Change to yellow yarn. Tighten the white yarn. Make for single crochet with yellow yarn. 1 increase stitch. Make 5 more single crochet. One increase stitch. Round 18 is completed. Count 28 V-shapes at the top. Round 19. Using yellow yarn, make 13 single crochet first. Change yarn on the 13th stitch. One unfinished single crochet. Change to white yarn. Make 1 single crochet with white yarn. Only need to make 1 incomplete single crochet. Change back to yellow yarn. Tighten the white yarn. Make 14 single crochet with yellow yarn. Round 19 is completed. Count 28 V-shapes at the top. Pattern made with white yarn. Round 19 is done. Yarn change is completed. You can cut the white yarn. Everyone can compare the position of the white pattern to see if it's correct. Complete the solid color kitten from rounds 1 to 19 in the same way. Rounds 20 to 21 of the ginger kitten will be made with solid color yarn. Everyone can refer to the same methods to complete the solid color kitten by yourself. Insert the crochet hook back into the yarn loop. Make sure the yarn is properly positioned in your hand. Next, the 20th round. You need to make 6 single crochet and 1 increase stitch as one sequence. Repeat this sequence 4 times. After completing 4 sequences, you will have a total of 32 stitches. For the first sequence, start with 6 single crochet. One increase stitch. The first sequence is completed. For the second sequence, 6 single crochet. One increase stitch. For the third sequence, 6 single crochet. One increase stitch. For the fourth sequence, 6 single crochet. One increase. After completing 4 sequences, 32 V-shapes are formed. Round 20 is completed. Round 21. 7 single crochet and 1 increase stitch is one sequence. Repeat this sequence 4 times. For sequences from 36 stitches. The first sequence starts with 7 single crochet. One increase stitch. The first sequence is completed. The second sequence, 7 single crochet. One increase stitch. The third sequence, 7 single crochet. One increase stitch. The fourth sequence, 7 single crochet. One increase stitch. All 4 sequences are completed. There are 36 stop V-shapes. Round 21 is completed. Round 22 needs to create the 4 legs of the kitten. The ginger kittens for legs need to be made with white yarn. Round 22 requires a change of yarn. Take out the white yarn and set it aside for later use. The 22nd round. First, use the yellow yarn to make 3 single crochet. Change yarn on the 3rd stitch. You need to change yarn on the 3rd stitch. Take out the white yarn. Hold the yarn at the back of the fabric. Put the yarn on your hand properly. Pass the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. Changing yarn here is completed. Tighten the yellow yarn. Then use white yarn to make 5 treble crochet bobbles. This will be made in the same stitch. First make 5 unfinished treble crochet. Then combine the 5 unfinished treble crochet into 1 stitch. First, let's learn how to make a treble crochet. The crochet hook is placed in front of the working yarn. Yarn over the working yarn. Wrap the yarn around the hook once. Yarn over the hook again. This way, there are 2 yarn overs on the crochet hook. Now there are 3 loops on the crochet hook. The crochet hook goes through the stitch. Press down on the working yarn and pull it through. There are 4 loops on the crochet hook now. Lift the working yarn with the crochet hook. Pull through the first 2 loops. There are 3 yarn loops on the crochet hook now. Wrap the yarn around the hook again. Pull through the next 2 loops on hook. There are 2 loops left on the crochet hook. Pull up the working yarn again. Bring the yarn through the remaining 2 loops on the hook. One treble crochet is completed. Here, we need to make 5 unfinished treble crochet. First, undo the completed treble crochet. Demonstrate again. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice. Here, 3 loops are formed on the crochet hook. The crochet hook goes through the stitch. Place the white yarn end in the yellow yarn about the hook to secure them. Press down on the working yarn with the crochet hook. Pull the yarn through. There are 4 yarn loops formed on the crochet hook now. Yarn over the hook and pull through the first 2 loops on hook. There are 3 yarn loops remaining on the crochet hook now. Yarn over and pull the yarn through the next 2 loops on hook. This leaves 2 loops remaining on the crochet hook. This is an incomplete treble crochet. Next, we need to do the same. Make 4 more incomplete treble crochet in the same insertion point. The second incomplete treble crochet. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice. Pass through the same stitch. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on hook. Yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops on hook. There are 3 loops remaining on the crochet hook. The second incomplete treble crochet is completed. The third incomplete treble crochet. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice. Pass through the same stitch, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops again. There are 4 loops left on the crochet hook. The 4th unfinished treble crochet, wrap the yarn around the hook twice, insert hook, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops again. There are now 5 loops on the crochet hook. The 5th unfinished treble crochet. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice, insert hook, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 yarn loops. Yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops again. There are now 6 loops formed on the crochet hook. Here 5 unfinished treble crochet are done. Next, switch to yellow yarn. Yellow, yarn over the hook. Pull through all 6 loops on the crochet hook at once. Here, you can take it slow while pulling the yarn through to avoid missing any loops. Tighten the yellow yarn. The white yarn should also be tightened. Here, 5 treble crochet bobbles is completed. Next, we need to make 3 single crochet with yellow yarn. Here, pay attention to the hook insertion point. The bobble stitch is relatively wide. It can easily cover the insertion point. One decrease stitch. Three single crochet change yarn on the 3rd stitch. Note to leave the back white yarn a little longer. Yarn change is completed. Use white yarn to make 5 treble crochet bobbles. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice. Pass through the next stitch, yarn over and pull the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 yarn loops, yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops again. This is an unfinished treble crochet. Five unfinished treble crochet are done. Change to yellow yarn. Pass the yellow yarn through the 6 yarn loops on the crochet hook. Pull the yarn tight. This is how to complete the yarn change. Pay attention to the hook insertion point. Using yellow yarn, first make 3 single crochet. One decrease stitch. Then, 3 single crochet. Change yarn on the 3rd stitch. Change to white yarn. Note that the white yarn can be left a little longer. Make 5 treble crochet bobbles using the white yarn. Five incomplete treble crochet are completed. Next, proceed to change yarn. Pass the yarn through all 6 loops on the crochet hook at once. Pull the yarn tight. Make 3 single crochet with the yellow yarn. One decrease stitch. Three single crochet. Change yarn on the 3rd stitch. Make 5 treble crochet bobbles using the white yarn. Five incomplete treble crochet are completed. Change to yellow yarn. Pass the yarn through all 6 loops on the crochet hook. Pull the yarn tight. Changing yarn here is completed. Make 3 single crochet with the yellow yarn. Everyone must pay attention to the hook insertion point. One decrease stitch. Round 22 is completed. Count 32 V-shapes at the top. Here, the white V shape is pulled relatively tight. This is to prevent the bobble stitch from deforming. The white here is also a V shape. When counting, everyone should not miss any stitches. Round 22 is completed. Next, use solid color yarn to continue. You can cut the white yarn directly. Round 23. From now on, continue using a solid color yarn. 1 single crochet, 2 decreases. Next, make for single crochet and 2 decreases as one sequence. Repeat this sequence 3 times. The first sequence for single crochet. To decrease stitches. The first sequence is completed. The second sequence for single crochet. Two decreases. The third sequence for single crochet. Two decreases. Three sequences are completed. Next, 3 single crochet. Round 23 is completed. Count 24 V-shapes at the top. Round 24. 2 decreases. The first. The second. Next, to single crochet and to decrease stitches as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 3 times. The first sequence to single crochet. 2 decreases. The first. The second one. The second sequence to single crochet. 2 decreases. The third sequence to single crochet. To decrease stitches. Next, to single crochet. Round 24 is completed. Count the top V-shapes. There are 16. Next, insert the stuffing cotton. Take out the stuffing cotton. Tear the stuffing cotton to fluff it up. Add in small amounts multiple times. Add to this level of tightness. Reinsert the crochet hook into the yarn loop. Round 25. Work 8 decrease stitches. Eight decrease stitches are completed. Count the top 8 V shapes. Cut the yarn. Pull the yarn loop larger, pull out the yarn end. Next, close the opening, find the yarn end. Take out the sewing needle. Thread the yarn end through the sewing needle. Here, you need to pick the front loops of the last round to close it up. The first front loop. The second front loop. The third front loop. All 8 front loops have been threaded onto the yarn tail. Pull the yarn tail. Tighten the gap until it disappears. Here, insert the needle from the nearest hole. Pass the yarn tail back and forth a few times inside the fabric to secure it. Once finished, cut off the excess yarn end. The main body of the ginger kitten is completed. The main body of the solid color kitten is the same as the main body of the ginger kitten. The shape is exactly the same, only the pattern part is different. Please crochet the solid color kitten by yourself.